Hello, chat. Welcome back to a full flap sim live stream. A lot going on in this one. We have got so much new stuff that is super uncharted territory for me. We've got a pre-scheduled stream in a regional jet with payware sounds, payware scenery. It's going to be an adventure. Welcome to everybody. I'm actually pretty shocked with how popular this topic seems to be. But yeah, we're in the Aerosoft CRJ version 2.0 with Boris sounds, flying from Salt Lake City to the Fresno Air Terminal, taking an excited 10-year-old me to space camp at Castle Air Force Base in Atwater, California. So, Vodka, welcome, man. The route, yeah, Desert 2, MVA, Mina, Friant, Intel is what we're going to use as well. Sounds like you're spawned in there at A5. We've got a Southwest behind us. He's going to Denver. Stephen Hayner, welcome, man. Diabetic lad, a stream, incomprehensible. You joined if you weren't at the gym. Well, dude, no excuses this time, man. This was pre-scheduled, a little out of character for me. And in true Darwin theory fashion, I scheduled the stream, and then my dog panicked because one of my neighbors lit off all their spare fireworks from the 4th of July, and the dog um, crapped all over the downstairs. So I spent all morning cleaning that up, or not all morning, but a couple hours getting that all cleaned and disinfected and all that kind of stuff. So right before the stream that we had scheduled. So anyway, we're good now. We recovered, but I thought that was funny that it happened right before a pre-scheduled stream. Virtual Flight Diaries, welcome, man. It is going great, man. Thanks for joining us today. Stephen Hayner, looks like you're in the Starship 1337 Kilo coming into Greenland. Interesting. Okay. Gus, welcome, dude. Will I be connected at the Badlands Network? I don't know what that means. We're on Iveo Premium. We haven't been banned yet, so we're going to be flying on that network today. Joe Plains, welcome, dude. Pete Ski, welcome. Zippy Zapple is streaming a reasonable time for you. Hey, dude, this is baby nap time, dude. This is when most full flap live streams should happen. Nabil, welcome, dude. We do have the Boris sounds installed, and they make such a difference, man. Man, I got some truck in my way here. Yeah, Boris's sounds make this airplane shine. Some textures, some new sounds. Great airplane. It's just like a house, man. Flip it. New paint, new shrubs. Um, let's see. All right, Delta 19, Gus is at A7. Okay. Max Racing, hey man, Turk in the U.S. retracted his message, man. Stephen A, we're going to your mom's house. Oh boy. All right, guys, keep the chat PG-13 at best. Joe Plains, you might join the E170. Dude, join along. Okay, here we go. Cool. So this is the Aerosoft version 2 update. Now, I'm on Marketplace. So I don't know if that means that I'm short an update or not, but I got to say, this airplane went from something I had no interest in flying to one of the better hand flying airplanes that I have. I would put it up there with the iFly 7.3 in regards to enjoyable airplanes, and the EFB is much easier to navigate than the iFly. So I'm having a blast, man. This airplane's in the old Comair livery, which Comair is defunct now, but they used to be kind of the OG regional carrier for Delta out of Salt Lake City. So the reason I chose this route and this airplane was one of my first memories as a kid of airline flying is getting on a Delta Connection CRJ 200 out of Salt Lake City, flying to Fresno to go to space camp. And it was the old Comair Delta Connection with the black nose. But I couldn't find that livery, so the Ron Allen livery is going to have to do. This was actually on the 200 model, but the 700 is good enough. So Marco Garati, I agree, man. This plane without Boris does not exist. 100%, man. I agree, dude. Turk, this is a great livery. Also, Turk, man, you're gonna have to. This stream's for you, man. We got payware airplane, payware sounds, payware scenery. Um, we're still in yellow sim, but I think you're gonna like this one. So, Shakovic, SimCFI made this airplane good. Is SimCFI the guy that did the version 2.0 update? Interesting. Um, Diabetic Lad, how much will you flame it when the Adopt-A-Bus drops, though? Dude, you know what's funny is flying the Adopt-A-Bus, the A220. I heard so many captains say, "Oh, this is just a CRJ that works," and there are certain systems on this airplane where I understand kind of what they're talking about. One of them being this overhead cockpit hatch that I kind of hated, but it's a thing on the CRJ. So. Um, do these purple crowns mean we're going to get Burger King during cruise? I don't know, man. I have no idea what those are, but it's an addition to the channel, so here we go. All right. Impossible for Turk in the U.S. to enjoy anything. He only enjoys it when he's hating. All right. Well, here we go, guys. Okay. Also, if there are any regional pilots in the chat, um, keep me honest because I don't know what I am doing. So we're going to figure it out. We may skip some stuff. I've got a checklist that I downloaded off the internet, um, but we're going to make it work. So, Joe Plains, yep, payware FAT off of flightsim.to. And from my memories of living in Fresno, it looks pretty good. So, all right, here we go. Battery Master comes on. AC power is available in use. That comes on. Get the Boris sounds going. There we go. We'll fire the sim sounds up. Airplane's coming to life for you. You'll have to let me know how the sim sounds are there. Okay, and I've got them turned up so I can hear them as well. Okay, cool. So the first thing that we would do is we're going to get in the airplane, check to make sure that all the screens have powered up. They have. The ISIS is aligning there, and then we're going to get the IRSs cooking so that we don't have to wait too long on them. So we'll go nav. Parking brake is set, and then we'll do an overhead flow here as well, but I just want to get the IRSs going. So we'll go pause init. Airport, we're at Salt Lake City. So KSLC. Then we'll go next page. We'll pick up the GNS position once it comes up. And we'll get those cooking. There we go. GNS position, previous page. Set position, and it says attitude heading aligning. Okay, so we'll come back to the FMS after we do an overhead flow. Virtual flight diaries. In 1999, I was supposed to go to the Comair Delta Flight Academy in Sanford, Florida, but life got in the way. Oh man, dude. Kind of a bummer, although things worked out for you. But yeah, Comair, man, it's funny how they went from kind of the ace of base to gone. Your CFI is a real CRJ pilot who makes YouTube videos helping people fly the CRJ. Oh, very cool. Awesome, man. Yeah, he did a fantastic job. I mean, I don't know really anything about the airplane, but it seems believable to me. So that's really cool that he did that. So Turk, the airplane's only $40 on Contra. Going to do it after the stream. Yeah, 100%, dude. I'm digging it. Absolutely digging it. All right, so we'll take a look. The circuit breakers are all in, it looks like. We'll come up here and we'll do a fire test. We got to double click the button, which is why we've got the camera view in this kind of weird place. We got a master warning, left and right fire. There we go. All right, fire test looks good. Bill's Mafia, welcome, dude. All right. DC service bus we don't need. We've got AC power in use. All the generators are on. Did the fire test. Hydraulic shutoff valves are closed and guarded. For the lights, we'll get the nav and logo lights on for now. Fuel pumps can stay off for now. Bleed air is in normal. Bleed valves are in auto. We'll close the isolation valve. Bleed source to both engines. APU, we won't start that yet. Engine start and ignition is good. For hydraulics, they're all off. Cabin pressurization switch. This is all the manual system, so that all looks good. Packs, we don't have a APU running yet, so we'll leave those off. Recirc fan is off as well. We can turn that one on, circulate some air. Aft cargo, we'll get this set up once we get the APU going. We can turn the window heats on low. Anti-ice can stay off. Probes will be off for now. Dome light, that's all good. Emergency exit lights will arm. Get the passenger signs on, arm the ELT, and then landing and taxi lights will stay off as well. Coming over here, we'll check the oxygen mask. Skycam, I don't know if any US CRJs have that or not. Lighting can stay off, nose wheel steering is off. The stick pusher is on, which we'll test in a second here. Um, display stuff, we'll set that up later, but the radar is off. We'll test the CVR. There it is. Good test. All right, cancel the master warning. Here comes the stick pusher test. Okay, good test there. We did the fire test. We'll turn the flight directors on. Looks like we might need to wait for the IRSs to align on that. Let's see. So the anti-skid test, best I could tell, you just release the parking brake and then cycle the anti-skid switch off. Make sure that anti-skid inboard and outboard come up. Back on, and then reset the parking brake. Okay. We'll test the main gear overheat.
You obey. Overheat.
Okay, overheat fail test is good. N1 sync, that's on. We'll test the lights. They all look good. All right, and we'll keep those on bright since it's a day flight. Ground proc switches are both down and guarded. The roll and pitch disconnect handles are stowed. Speed brake is stowed as well. Lift dump is an automatic. Thrust reversers are off. Got the throttles back at idle cutoff. These throttles are interesting because they're kind of like the throttles in the fighters where they have a paddle and then you click them up to idle, and then you pull them back past the horn to disconnect them. So kind of what I'm used to, at least from my background. Let's see, comms. We are on Iveo Premium today, so we'll get the comm set up here in a second. Let's check the status pages. So one thing we do need to check is that we have good power on both batteries. So, and these synoptic pages are very A220-ish. So AP battery 26 volts, main battery is at 27 volts. So that looks good. And then the AC power system. We would just check the status of it. ECS, don't have any APU duct pressure yet. Hydraulics, I'm assuming we'd be looking for like a refill quantity or something like that. Very similar hydraulic system to the 220 actually. And synoptic page layout. Fuel, we should have 12,000 pounds. We got 6 in each tank. That looks good. Flight control page. We'll set our trim here later, anti-ice, and then we'll set the doors page for now. And then we can cast some of these messages by just going like that. And you'll see, this is the same way the 220 worked, where you have all the messages, and then if you hit the button, it casts the message so that you can ignore them. Okay, cool. So we'll set that to doors for now. The trims are centered. Lights we don't have to worry about. We'll get the yaw dampers both on. We'll get the stab trim on. Mock trim. We'll put the standby radio head to standby. Transponder will also stay in standby. Weather radar is off for now. We'll check the chime. Okay, that's the HUD. We're not going to use the HUD. Cargo FireX. I think we tested those where we did the fire test. Audio panel setup, and then the IRSs are aligned. Parking brake is set. This is emergency landing gear extension. This is the air-driven generator, or the RAT in other airplanes. That's set, then the emergency flaps are in normal. So that is all done as far as the flows go. Okay, cool. Let's see, catching up on the chat. Yeah, 20% off. Oh, yeah, the Bora sound pack is also like half off right now in the marketplace. So it's pretty good, 100%. Max Racing, did the Airbus 220 do an automatic fire test? Yes, it did. It you didn't have to do a fire test. You didn't have to do a lights test or anything. It was just diagnostic as the airplane started up. You could do one. Like if you had a suspicion of something wrong, you could absolutely do a second fire test, but no one did it. So, cool. Virtual flight diaries. Nope, became a correctional officer and said, "Hey, dude, still a great career, man. That's awesome, and you get to enjoy aviation, through your hobby. So that's cool." Your Sim CFI in the house, dude. Okay, I would like to issue a 3-part apology for what I'm about to do to your ride in advance because I don't know what I'm doing. So, dude, if you feel the need to jump in the chat and help a brother out, dude, I would really, really appreciate it. But man, this airplane is awesome. I'm loving it so far. So take it easy on me, but glad to have you in the chat, man. Thanks for dropping by. All right. Vodka, is Salt Lake ramp uncontrolled? I'm not sure. I got to look at VATSIM. I haven't even had time to look at that yet. So, all right, let's jump in the FMS here and see if we can get this running. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of the 220 DNA kind of makes a little bit more sense when I start flying this airplane. All right, we're going from Salt Lake City, so KSLC to KFAT, Fresno Air Terminal. I'm going to pull up the, let's see, got to pull up the SimBrief flight plan here. There it is, PDF. Okay, over to the other monitor. Okay, alternate is Oakland. So we'll go KOAK right there. And then we'll start with departures and arrivals. So we're taking off. They're going north, so we'll plan on 34 left. We can change it if they need. Desert 2 out to Mina. Execute that. Then there's no arrival into Fresno, so we're just going to go Desert 2 MVA, and then direct to Friant, which is FRA, I believe. Yep, direct to Intel, and then directly into Fresno. And then Fresno is typically landing on the 29s, so we'll go, we'll do the ILS 29, ILS right 29 Yankee with, ooh, there's a Friant transition, huh? Should we do the Friant transition? No, we'll just do vectors. We'll do radar vectors in. Okay, and go back there. So, let's see. Turk, please tell me you can uplink this. I think, yeah, you could do it in the EFB in the Aerosoft, but I don't think you can do it in the real. Yeah, your SimCFI says you can't do it in the real airplane. So we're going to do it. Man, the theme of today that I'm learning is I would not have made it as a regional pilot because these guys work their butts off. So there's a little bit of appreciation for the folks in at the mainline career who got there the working man's way. So here we go. Desert 2 to Mina, direct Friant, direct Intel. Cool. All right, perfect it. This, we need to come over to the EFB and check performance. So we have 52 people on board, 1,075 pounds of cargo, 12,000 pounds of gas. We'll set the payload. And then I'm just going to copy that in, although you'd hand jam all these numbers. So that gives us a gross weight of 68,400 pounds, which jives with our EFB for performance calculations. For cruise altitude, we're going up to 360, which I think is pretty doggone high for the old CRJ. But we'll see if she'll get up there. Matter of fact, on our little chart here, it says we can get up there as long as it's not ISO plus 10 or higher. So we'll take a look once we get up there. And then our cruise altitude over to our alternate of Oakland would be, it's been so long since I've looked at the paper flight plan here, 180. So we'll take 18,000 and stick it in the perfect net page. So that looks good. Cool. Okay, and we'll execute that. Okay, now we'll go to VNAV setup. Looks like we're going to climb at 290, transition to 0.74. If you want a good refresher on crossover airspeed, go over to V1 Sims channel, check him out. 290 and 0.74, and then we'll cruise at 300. Or what do you guys normally cruise at your CMCFI? Is it 0.78? Someone was telling me you could do that. We're gonna cruise at 300 or 0.78 just for time purposes, and then 0.74, 290 in the descent. I'm assuming that this is the same as the 220, where it's just a geometric VNAV, where it basically takes the bottom waypoint, draws a 3-degree line up, and as long as it hits all the points, it's good to go. If it doesn't, it just adjusts it minimally to make the points. Okay, I think that's it. And then for fix info, since there's no arrival into Fresno, we're going to make a fix, and we're going to put a 30 DME ring there just for our planning purposes. And we're going to cross Intel, or we're going to plan on crossing Intel at 250 and 10,000. Which it's already got us there at 11, but 250 and 10,000. And that should at least keep us from being higher than Snoop Dogg when we cross the mountains there into Fresno. There we go. And we will execute that. Cool. Let's see. Your CMCFI says max is 0.82. The autopilot RVSM limited. Yeah, you should be good to make it up there. Okay. What we do in real life is we go to the OFP, find top of climb waypoint, and then look at the waypoint just below, and enter that IAS Mach in the cruise window. Oh, okay. Well, let's do that. Let's do it the real way then. So if I go to top of climb, Aston is next, and this has us at 251 or 0.76. All right. So we'll do that. We'll go 251 or 0.76, and we'll put that in the cruise page. There we go. And then we'll descend it like that. Okay, so the box, I believe, is set. Now we need to get our performance data, and we can do that in the EFB here. So we'll use, is it flaps 8 or flaps 20 normally? What normally flaps 8, I think, for takeoff, unless you have a reason to use flap 20. So we've got flaps 8, drive runway conditions, and set the bugs. And then that gives us a takeoff trim of 8 degrees, which will go to the flight controls page. And we'll set the stab to 8 degrees. There we go. All right, we'll get the APU started. APU goes into test. And then once the APU bite test is complete, and the door opens, so we've got APU door reading down here. Did I hit the right button? Oh, there we go. There we go. APU and bite. Okay, APU shutoff valve is open. APU and start. There we go. Long runways, shorter than 8,000 than 20, but usually 8. Okay, cool. So we'll plan on using flaps 8 for today. All right, we've got the flight directors are on both sides. We're going up to, well, we'll get our clearance here from Iveo Premium. And the first thing we need to do is grab the ATIS. So that's going to be on 124.75. This is straight out of the A220. This comm tuning panel. Delta.
Nation Delta 1954 Zulu. Wind 260 at 6. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 8,500. Temperature 30. Dew point 7. Altimeter 3009. Simultaneous approaches in use. Landing ILS runway 34 left, ILS 34 right, and area navigation Y runway 35 or visual approaches in use. Departing runway 34 left, 34, and 35. VFR departures contact clearance delivery with direction of flight and expect assignment of a published VFR transition. Bird activity. Notices to air missions airport surface detection system in use. Operate transponder with altitude reporting on airport surface. Non-jet VFR arrivals and departures. Expect assignment of a published VFR transition. IFR departures expect a pre-departure clearance via private message. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Taxiway Echo closed between Taxiway Foxtrot 3 and Taxiway Hotel. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Delta.
All right, we have Delta. We've got the clearance via ACARS. So tower is going to be on 1905, so we'll spin that in. big improvement on the 220 is they took this comm panel and they stuck it on the glare shield, so you didn't have to spend as much time looking down by your hip. They stuck it right here in the glare shield, which is an improvement, but still a really easy way to do your radios. So 1905, we've got Salt Lake Tower spun in, and then for the clearance, it's SkyWest 1422 is cleared via Desert 2, Mina, Friant, Intel, FAT up to 360, squawking 7411. So we'll go 7411. Okay, squawking 7411. We got that in standby. Remark, cleared Desert 2 departure via Mina transition, maintain 240 until advised. Maintain 9,000, so we've got 9,000 set. Expect 360 10 minutes after. Departure freak is on 122.8, so we'll put 122.8 here. Okay, 122.8. Maintain 230 until advised. All right, so we'll plan on 230, and then go from there. All right, the APU's been on for at least a couple of minutes, so packs can come on. We'll get conditioned air to the back. That should be good. We are all set up. Okay, so I think we're ready to run the checklist. Mickey G, welcome, man. How's it going, dude? All right, here we go. Checklist says nose wheel safety check. Nose wheel steering off. Hydraulic panel off. Off. Landing gear down. Flaps up. Spoilers retracted. That was all good. Radar's off. Parking brake is set. ADG's closed. Emergency flap switch to normal. So safety check is complete. For the cockpit preparation, electrical power is on. IRS 1 and 2 nav. Internal lights set. Originating check. All right, electrical power established. Fire detection test complete. External lights set. Fuel panel set. We'll turn these on for start. Fuel panel is set. Bleed air panel, that is set. I think this panel is mostly automatic, but I need to watch maybe your SimCFI's video to make sure there. APU panel is set. For hydraulics, we're going to turn 3A on, 1, 3B, and 2 to automatic. ELT is armed. Cabin pressurization. What is the field elevation in Fresno? We need to check that. So we can go to charts, use the FMS flight plan, destination, 10.9 page. This should have the elevation on it, I believe, right? Airport elevation 3, call it 340. So we'll dial that up in here. And then it should show up. Right, there's 400, so I got to go 80, 60, 40. There we go, 340. That is all set. Okay. Cabin pressurization panel is set. Packs are on. Recirc fans on. Aft cargo conditioned air is on. Anti-ice checked. I think there's a test we have to run here, right? Detector test. Or maybe here. Not sure. I gotta do some more reading on that. Anti-ice is checked and off though. Not planning on using it. Window heats are in low. Miscellaneous lights are all set. Emergency exit lights are armed. Instrument panels are set. Upper pedestal is set. Thrust lever quadrant is set. Avionics are all set. Stab and mock trim is on, and yaw damper is on. Okay, that check is complete. And then finally we'll do a before start check, and then we'll get our taxi clearance here, or our push and start clearance. Passenger signs are on. Landing elevation is set. Altimeters are set. 3009 per the ATIS. FMS is set. IRSs are aligned. Radios and nav aids are set. ATC clearance are received. Takeoff speeds are all set. We got V2 at 140, V2 plus 10 set in the MCP. Takeoff trim, that is set. Initial altitude's 9,000. Initial heading, we'll get that from ATC. And takeoff brief is complete. Okay. Start checklist. APU is on. Electrics, yeah, we checked that. Takeoff data is set. Doors, we'll get all closed up here. So we'll go aircraft. We'll close, close, close. I love how this baggage door closes. Just such a cool piece of engineering. There we go. Okay, doors are closed. We'll get the beacon on. I'm certain there's flows with this, but I'm not familiar enough to know what they are. All right, boost pumps are on. Hydraulic pumps are on. Park and brake off, and then we'll get the pushback. All right, we are ready to go. So let me call tower and get our push and start clearance. And we're at what, Delta 7. Salt Lake Tower, SkyWest 1422, Delta 7, push and start.
SkyWest going for push and start. Say call sign one more time.
SkyWest 1422.
SkyWest 1422. The ramp is uncontrolled. Call for taxi.
SkyWest 1422, we'll come. I feel like you could have said that without my call sign. Okay. Here we go. Parking brake is off, and here comes the push.
5286, Salt Lake Tower. Thanks for Delta. Runway 34 left, taxi via Alpha.
Okay.
34 left via Alpha, Sky 5286.
Here comes a tug that's bigger than our airplane to push us back. We have a yaw damper caution. So let me see here. There we go. Must not have gotten one on. Inboard spoiler-ons, outboard brake pressure. I'm assuming that's normal. Let's see if we pull the hides up. Inboard spoiler-ons. Okay, yeah, because the 2A pump is not running, and then outboard brake press, probably because number 1's not running. So we assume that those will go away once we get the start. Did the FO just cough? Did Boris add a random coughing FO to the sound pack? That's awesome. I got to get rid of the chocks and we'll push faster. I love this, man, like how low this airplane sits to the ground. CRJ is a good looking airplane. It kind of bums me out that it's one of the last T-tailed rear engine airliners that'll probably ever be built. Like this is, you know, we don't really appreciate it because we see them flying around all the time, but when they go away, they're going to be the last of the T-tailed rear-engined airliners. Business jets will still be around, I guess, but okay, we'll cancel the push there. Set the parking brake, and hopefully the tug goes away. Oh, I think we need to disconnect our ground power and stuff, so we'll disconnect them. Disconnect. There we go. Then get rid of that. Okay. All right, here we go. Start number 2. All right, there's start. Listen to these Boris sounds. There's 24. Okay. That looks like a good start, and then we'll start number 1 as well. Okay, 20%. Here comes fuel.
Salt Lake Skywax 6462 west with Delta ready for taxi.
Dale 646, runway 34 left, taxi via Alpha.
Okay,
Refer
oil
left via
pressure.
Alpha, Skywax 646.
Okay, there's our hydraulics getting powered up. Okay. Looks like 2 good starts, so the generators are on. We can come up here and turn off the APU. Let's see, bleed panel. This is all set up. It's actually a very automated airplane, which is kind of cool. I think that's it for our flow. And then once the APU shuts down, we can
South Lake Tower,
make sure
Delta
this gets
104
to 0.
87, ready for pushback and start with Delta.
Delta 104, Salt Lake Tower, they're uncontrolled, call
There
for
it is,
taxi.
RPM to 0. We'll close the
We'll call for
door.
taxi, Delta 104.
APU door is closed. We'll go flap 8. All right, there's flap 8. And we'll run an after start checklist. So, the after start check
on departure, flighting 280, runway
says
34 left, clear for takeoff.
probes left and right.
Heading
Oh, I
to
think we
John
forgot
Park,
those.
clear for takeoff, runway
Yep.
34
All
left.
right, there we go.
52,
Probes
26.
left and right are on. Generators are automatic. Electrics, that's checked. Bleed air valve is on auto. Rather. Packs are on. APU start stop switch. So APU off. Anti-ice as required. Nose wheel steering arm. Call for taxi. All right, set flaps 8. Flaps 8 set. Call for taxi. Here we go. Salt Lake ground. SkyWest 1422. Taxi with Delta.
Sky 1422, runway 34 right, taxi via hotel.
34 right, taxi via hotel, SkyWest 1422. All right, 34 right via hotel, which is, let's see, we got to go back. Salt Lake City, 10-9 page. Hotel, but we're going to 34 right, so we need to change that in the box. So we'll make some time here. Departures and arrivals, we'll just set 34 right. Still via the desert, we'll execute that. Nothing else changes. We'll rerun our performance data, which doesn't look like it changes at all. All right, and then we would run a runway change checklist, but we're not going to do that because it's flight sim and we know we can get off the ground. All right, parking brakes released. We are out of here. Taxi lights on. Man, drop a like for the old Canadair regional jet, man. It's a neat airplane. It's just an Under Armour Day 10. All right, we'll set 340 for now.
286, contact center now 125.57.
2557, Sky 5286, have a good day.
We'll get out of the ramp area before we do any flight control checks or anything. All right, so in the CRJ, or in the 220...
Squawk Montreal.
Oh, Scott's 1422, okay. We'll go like that. There we go. And then ATC 7411, altitude on. Okay, perfect. All right, we'll do a quick flight controls check. Up, down, left, right. Flight control check is complete. All right, and we'll do a departure brief. So we're taking off on runway 34 right via the Desert 1. Desert first fix is Dirge above 12,000 feet, speed restriction of 230 knots, which we got a couple of different restrictions, but 230 is the most restrictive, so that's what we'll do. All right, we'll get the terrain mode on the map. We'll get the weather radars cooking. And hotel should be this one. And then the flow in the 220, and I don't know if it's the same on the CRJ, was after you put in your takeoff data, it was toga nav VNav, and then speed, heading, altitude, and trim. So we would do toga, nav, except we're doing a heading departure, VNav, which there isn't in this jet.
Skywest
Speed is
646
set to
on
V2
departure,
plus
flight
10.
280 and a 34 left, clear for takeoff.
Heading is set, altitude 9,000, and trim is set to 8.
280 on departure, 34 left, clear for takeoff, Skywest 646.
Delta 104, ready for taxi.
Delta 104 and a 34 left, taxi to Alpha.
I mean, the modeling on this airplane is definitely showing its age, given it's 5 years old at this point. It was a P3D port to begin with, but
Clear taxi Delta 104 through the Alpha to runway 34 left.
The cockpit looks good, and the systems definitely make it for me, and it also hand flies great now. So I'm pretty happy with the airplane as it sits right now. Although I feel, for full disclosure, Turk needs to see these flaps before he buys the airplane today. Outside model holds up though.
Tower, Skywest 3518, 2S, ready for taxi with Delta to 34 left.
Skywest 3518, runway 34 left, taxi via Alpha behind the Delta
no
A319.
source is FMS1.
We'll follow the Delta 319, 34 left.
All right, let's see. Arm up the thrust reversers. Go manual on the cross flow override, and we'll run it before takeoff checklist. Our taxi checklist says flaps set for takeoff, flight controls are checked, trims are set, thrust reversers armed, taxi lights on, flight instruments are set, brake temps are checked. Taxi check is complete. And the before takeoff check, landing lights and strobes, we'll get those. Fuel cross-lead auto override is in manual, transponder and TCAS. Transponder is set. TCAS we want above, auto and relative, okay. TCAS set, transponders on, radar display is set, and CAS. We've got a takeoff config okay, and I'll cast those messages right now.
646, contact header now 125.57.
There we go. Messages are catch.
2557, Skywest 646.
Alright. And he seems like he's got pretty good SA, so we won't call him. We'll just wait for him to call us.
Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened, your tray table is stowed, and your seat back is up.
Right. This jet also isn't as twitchy as I would have expected, given that it was one of the first 2020 add-ons. It taxis fairly well.
1422 on departure, flying 26, crashed on departure, flying 280, runway 34 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 34 right, heading 280, Skywest 1422. All right, heading 280. We're cleared to go. Landing lights are on, strobes are on, wing lights are on, finals clear. We got flaps, we got fuel, we got flight attendants are seated. All right, we're all set. Okay, before takeoff checklist is complete. Do the lineup here. I don't know if they spool them up. That ain't a bug. They spin in the wind. Oh, with Nabil's comment. All right, I'll check that out once we're in cruise. All right, we'll spool them up 40%. There we go, and up to toga. All right, yoke forward. Neutral on the stick. We got a little crosswind from the left, which the airplane's weather vaning into, which is, I would think, realistic. There's 80 knots. V1, rotate. It's
Delta
pretty
104,
heavy on the elevator,
left,
which
left and right.
seems real.
Line up and wait for
Nice
Delta
smooth
104.
rotation. All right, positive rate of climb, gear up, fly with. All right, that looks good. There's 400 feet. Here comes heading mode.
Salt Lake Tower, good day. Delta 1586. This is my first time
Speed
flying
mode
in
at
Salt
600.
Lake. I just got some ACARS message in my VPayload. Do you not have to?
There's 1,000 feet. Pulling back to climb.
1586. That is affirmative. The PVD ACARS is your.
All right, we're gonna
break,
spin it
Skywest
up to
1422. Contact departure now 125.57.
2557. Skywest 1422. We'll see you. All right.
So I just request push when I'm ready.
So we'll spin up to
And
230.
1586. The ramp is also uncontrolled at this airport. Call for taxi.
There's 230. There's our heading. Roll
Again,
out.
1586, sorry.
Delta
A
15.
little bit of turbulence.
86. The ramp push and start will be at your own risk.
12557,
Call for
he
taxi.
says.
Okay, Roger. Delta 1586.
All right, 2557. All right. Departure Skywest 1422, heading 280, climbing to 9,000, speed 230.
Skywest 1422, select departure at a contact. Maintain 9,000, resume normal speed, clear deck Dirge.
9,000 direct Turch, maintain 9,000, Skywest 1422. All right, so we'll go
resume normal speed.
and normal speed for Skywest 1422. All right, direct Dirge, we'll nav to Dirge, got FMS 1, flaps can come up, and slats as well.
Number 42, Mike with you at a contact to altitude.
There's flaps and slats up. Normal speed, which is 250.
Number 42, Mike with you, Roger.
Okay, and he wants us up to 9,000. Do an after takeoff checklist. We can get the manual flow off.
I do.
Pull the thrust reversers off.
A piece at 6,000.
There's 8,000, so we got 1,000 to go.
And maintain 6,000.
This is a lot of work.
Landing, or correction.
Alt cap.
I'm sorry.
Autopilot's on.
TAC at maintain 7,000.
We're going direct Dirge.
West, the Boise altimeter.
Alt cap.
3010.
Man, flying a jet like this with no auto throttle. All right, or speed. Gonna get a speed ticket, chat. There's 8,300 feet.
FedEx 710 contact Seattle Center 135.45.
Roger, over to Seattle 134.45. FedEx 710.
35, 135.45.
Okay, shooting for 250 and 9,000 feet.
Number 42, Mike Whiskey. Climb and maintain flight level 450.
450, man, he's going to space.
And our 42, Mike Whiskey, clear direct feather.
Stephen Hayner, incredible. The 737 pilot complaining about workload.
Got 3716 to center maintain 9,000. Expect the visual approach runway.
All right, we'll stick the heading.
4 right.
This is a challenge. This is a busy airplane. Okay, there's 9,000.
Got 3716.
There's 250. If he holds us down for too long, we're not going to be able to make our final cruise. All right, after takeoff checklist says
Salt Lake Center.
gear up, flaps up, autopilot as required, fuel crossflow to auto, bleeds APU check, thrust vessels are off.
Flying heading 280.
All right, after takeoff check complete.
Delta 104 Salt Lake Center, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 340. Resume normal speed, and you're clear direct Dirge.
Alright, let's see.
Climb flight level 340, resuming normal airspeed and direct to Dirge for Delta 104.
Departure Skywest 1422. You want us at 9,000 still?
Skywest 1422, my apologies. Climb and maintain flight level 360.
Alright, 360 heading on up. No worries, Skywest 1422. Alright.
Yeah, sorry, I had you at 9,000 traffic fast. You're good.
All good. All right, there we go. We'll go speed mode. Climbing at 250. We'll put him in climb. Yeah, that dude's coughing over there, man. Don't come to work sick. What are you doing? All right, climb.
Skyway 3716, flight center.
There we go. 250.
3716, which is
He cleared us up to 36.
3716, descend and maintain 9,000.
9,000, South, Skyway 3716.
All right, we're going to Bonnie now. He said climb and maintain, so we don't need to worry about any of the VNAV stuff, which is good because the airplane doesn't have VNAV.
And Sky 3716, sorry. Confirm a visual 34 right.
There we go. All right, there's 360. Up we go.
8 firm, visual 34 right.
He has COVID. Yeah, come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing bringing that stuff to work? All right, we're going to go MFD menu, and we're going to go VNAV in the window, which SimCFI is going to have to explain this to me because I don't have any clue what this is telling me. Okay, here we go. We're climbing at, and we're above 10,000, so we can actually accelerate now to 290. My God, there's a lot going on in this airplane. All right, 290. There we go. And then we're going to hold 290 until we hit Big Sim crossover altitude at 0.74, and then we're going to hit the crossover button and climb at the Mach number. I'm not ignoring you in the chat, y'all. I'm just trying not to crash. All right, let's center up the bug. Push sync. I wish the 737 had that, where you could just hit the button and it would sync your heading bug up. Okay. There we go. Woo!
Sky 3716,
all right.
Descend and maintain 8,000.
Then 8,000, Skyway 3716.
Oh, VNAV is useless in the climb. Okay, got it.
030, speed 210.
Speed 210, left heading.
Gus, can I make 300? Yeah, we can do 300.
030 on the heading.
There we go. There.
Alright, 030 the heading and speed 210, Skyway 3716.
Thank God it's got FADEC at least. All right, so we've got climb thrust is set, so that's taking care of itself. We're climbing at 300.
Skyway 3518, 9,000, heading 30.
All right.
Sky 3518, Salt Lake Center radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 340. Resume normal speed, clear deck Dirge.
Clear deck Dirge.
Okay.
340, flight level 340, and maintain resume normal speed.
We're above 15,000, which is the tallest mountain in North America, so we're going to turn terrain radar off.
The field should be at
and we've got the weather radar sweep right there.
10 miles to reporting site.
It's a little far, but we see the open site. Skyway 3716.
Skyway 3716, roger. Clear the visual pressure on like 348.
All right.
Clear visual 34 right, Skyway 3716.
Man, this is cool as hell.
Contact center on the state, Turkish Niner with you at flight level 380 over Saket.
Right. Okay.
United 3.
All right. We're going to turn.
You said you're ready.
We're going to turn VATSIM down a little bit, and then I'm going to get back to the chat. There we go. VATSIM is turned down. Okay.
United 371, runway 21, taxi via Alpha.
Let's see. All right. There's standard. Man, every time I think I can go to the chat, I got more stuff to do. All right. Barrow to standard. All right. There's standard for me. AJ's got to do Barrow over here. All right, then we can get the lights off. So we'll go lights, wing lights off. Forgot to chime the flight attendants. So, oh wait, actually we have a button for that, don't we? There we go. Chime them. And climb check. We got altimeters, standard cross check. Climb check complete. All right. Okay, we're doing it.
That's about 4725. Expect vectors for the visual.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Back to the chat. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Right around takeoff. Oh yeah, Turk, about the Mosey yoke. I'm this close, man. It's just the trim following that I want to know if it works before I buy a force feedback yoke, because trim following I think is important. Let's see. Force Raptor, welcome, man. Yeah, it is. It's much louder on the outside of the airplane. We'll take a look at some outside views here in a second, but I'll turn the volume down before I do it. Let's see. Okay, so Toga nav, VNav, yeah, but different run. On the RJ, we take off with Toga. Oh, okay, so TO, one Toga click, and then after gear up, speed mode, nav mode, or heading. Okay, got it. So you climb in speed mode. That makes sense. And then you just manually accelerate the airplane. Oh, there's a cockpit texture mod? I gotta get that. Gotta pick that up. Yeah, this airplane does taxi really nice. The version 2 is I'm quite happy with this airplane in its version 2 state. So, Nabil, do you know where we can report a bug with fan blades and cold and dark, but the engines are spinning? I don't have that issue on mine, but yeah, maybe it's the wind, like SimCFI is saying. Your SimCFI says we're paid for a living, unlike other airline pilots. Dude, no kidding, man. This is busy. It's flight level 230, and I finally had time to sit back and look at the chat. Man. Timu wings, yeah. John Seifert, dude, you are so right, man. Imagine doing this 5 legs a day. That would be exhausting. I mean, it's a very manual airplane for sure, which, you know, I mean, the 7.3 is manual on the ground, but it's very automated with regards to flying it, right? Whereas this thing, you know, the overhead is actually pretty automated. Right, like automatic generator switching, automatic hide pumps, or I guess not hide pumps, but yeah, they are auto, really. So auto hide pumps, fuel pumps for the most part are auto. Bleeds, the entire bleeder panel is automated. Pressurization is automated. Air conditioning is simple, but yeah, so I mean it's a very automated overhead, but then, you know, the flying is very hands-on as far as there's no auto throttle. Thank God there's FADEC, but there's no auto throttle, and then the autopilot doesn't have VNav protection. So yeah, it's workload intensive, man. It's very, very workload intensive. Who needs FADEC when you have engine speed control thingy magic thing? Yeah, dude. I imagine the 200 without FADEC, where you're setting takeoff power manually, is, I bet that adds quite a bit of workload. Yeah, Stephen Hayner. Denali is 20,000 feet, but in Conus it's Mount Whitney, which is like 14 and change, right? Gus is organizing the conga line. 29's unacceptable. Your report light shop. Dude, that's ATC's problem, man. Just fly your normal speed and let ATC work it out. They'll figure it out. Oh, this is the wrong chime sound? Well, dude, tell Boris. He'll fix it, man. I guarantee you. I guarantee you 100%. Ooh, your SimCFI, you're gonna have to give us the lowdown on how this airplane flies with the Mosey yoke, because it has a really good flight model, I think, even with the Thrustmaster yoke. So I imagine with force feedback it'll be even better. Turk, am I one update behind? I'm on. Okay, I'm on whatever the latest marketplace version is. Is there a way to check it in here, like in the sim? But I updated this last night, so I'm on whatever that version is. I think it's 2.1. I know I had to update this livery to work, so it's version 2 something. That's probably how they tricked airlines to buy it. Look at the overhead, how automated it is. Okay, I'll buy 50. You know, but we joke about that. But if you remember, you know, like I said, when I was a kid, here we're gonna jump in outside view here. Watch your ears. Let's see here, sim sounds. I'm gonna try and do this in the right order so I don't blow out y'all's speakers.
5,000 and 5 present heading.
There we go. But yeah, like I remember, you know, when I was a kid, that getting on a CRJ 200, you were just happy not to be on a Embraer Brasilia, you know. Wendover. They did a lot of training for the nuclear bomb mission, B-29 training out down there in Wendover. Yeah, back when the 200 was newish in the 90s, you were just stoked that you weren't on a twin turboprop like a Dash 8 or a Brasilia or something. You know? 200 has no FADEC and a lot more stupid things. Oh, Boris said it's an Aerosoft issue for the chime. Okay. 2020 marketplace. Okay, yeah. So I got it on the 2020 marketplace. Awesome. Stephen Hayner, I'm already deaf. It's fine. Had Thanksgiving dinner at a casino in Wendover one year. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of a cool town. A lot of casinos and stuff right on the state line. Mike P. Holy crap, man. Coming in with a $20 super chat. Thank you, man. Thanks for all the effort you put into your 737 tutorial. Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for checking out the tutorial series. I really appreciate that. Hopefully it helped. There's some other stuff. If you guys ever want more 737 content, tutorials, and stuff like that, just let me know, and I'll try and make some tutorials. They're kind of high workload to put together, but I think they're a better product than live streams for learning how to operate an airplane. So yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate the $20 super chat and the fact that you enjoyed the tutorial, man. Thanks. Hey, Thomas Ray. Yeah, someone has a classy regional jet, dude. 100%, man. 200. Oh, wait, what? If you want anti-ice in the descent, you need to have the AP1 to land and manually change it. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So it sounds like the 200 was like the 737 of CRJs. And the CRJ 700, 900 is like the next generation. Which, people have told me that they're actually different airplanes, right? Like this whole, it's got different landing gear and stuff too. Like the 700, 900 are significantly different than the 200. I always thought the 200 looked like a little fighter jet. Thomas Ray says, yeah, I can't wait for X-Craft to get their new version of the ERJ. Yeah, dude, them and FSS, man, I would love to do some ERJ flying. Yeah, John Seabird. So the CRJ 200 and the ERJ 145 with FOs getting paid $25 an hour and hired with 700 total hours was around the time I got into aviation. Dude, you and me both, man. That's why that was a big deciding factor in going to the military, was the fact that you know, I was like, man, I think I can make ends meet on $25 an hour. Oh, big turn here.
Are you for a long time?
Look at this big turn. How's that? Who says Yellowstone is dead? Dead scenery.
Yeah.
Gotta go inside, make sure we're not overspeeding.
MBA for me, so I could not
Still
get
climbing.
below 6,500 where you currently are at the hotel. Yeah, 6,504.
You're gonna have to back me up on the on ATC because I've got to turn the way down.
Got a 104 before the underneath the light shot looks like I'm
The other one's for us.
Let's see. It's completely different. Oh, way different to land, especially with slats at 900. They can, I'm certain, fly 200 to 900. Oh, that's right, because the 200 doesn't have leading edge slats either, does it? That's because it always looks like they're dive bombing the runway whenever they come into land. So that's a good. I think that's maybe the best angle for the CRJ right about there. Stephen Hayner, yeah, having made ends meet on $25 an hour for a while, I can confirm it freaking sucks. That's why you went back to get your engineering degree. 100%. Dude, it's a good thing that the regional. I mean, if there was one thing that came out of COVID and the pilot shortage, it was that the regional pilots are finally getting a paycheck that makes it livable. Yeah, I had the same experience, man. When my CFI that did my private left the flight school right before I got my check ride done to go fly for, I think, SkyWest. And yeah, he had sub 1,000 hours for sure. Turk, you'll fly a jet for $25 an hour if you ask me today. What if it was the FS Labs? Alright, let's jump back in the cockpit here. See how we're doing. Sim sounds are coming back up. Oh boy, we're cooking here. We're doing 0.82 in the climb. We're gonna slow that down here. We're climbing 0.74. That should get us a nice zoom up to 36. Could be worse. Your brother-in-law made peanuts flying Metros for Keyline for years before joining Southwest Airlines. Yeah, dude, it's I mean, that's the thing about aviation, right? Is that it's very qualification intensive, and so to get the qualifications is challenging, and it's also a fun job, right? So people are willing to do it for less money than you would think sometimes. So.
That's 47.5 runway to the right.
It is a challenge for sure. Turk, the what? FS Labs is off your system and never coming back. Man, you heard it here first, chat. The FS Labs Glazer uninstalled the FS Labs. Man, I was actually going to try it just for the MEL simulation, but not for $70 or whatever they're charging. Dan Fruck, what car do I drive? I drive a clapped out Honda Civic, dude. Yeah, 2008. Or no, I sold the Civic actually. I drive a Hyundai, an equally clapped out Hyundai Elantra. Thomas Ray, you got it. The Challenger 300 landing flow below 10,000 feet is to have the APU as a source of bleed air for packs and anti-ice.
And Delta 20 for direct.
Oh, interesting. So you can bring the throttles to idle. SimCFI, is that true? 1,000 ago. Stephen, yeah, that is true. I spent all my money on the T6. which currently just failed a transponder check, so I got to put a new transponder in it. So there goes $1,000. All right. So we got 1,000 feet to go. And the airplane's not, the flight model used to be terrible on this. It used to oscillate left and right and up and down. I mean, it used to be all over the place. And now it seems to follow the line pretty smoothly. Okay, so we're heading direct Aston right now. Hopefully ATC didn't call us. AJ, Camry is greater than Civic. I'll fight you, man. My Civic was a great machine. It lasted, let's see, 17 years. Yeah, it lasted 17 years and 250,000 miles, man. That thing was a tank. Turk, we've been climbing for 14 hours. Yeah, dude. If you needed proof the world was round, the CRJ is climbing. You know, it actually didn't do bad down in the 20s. It just kind of dogged out once we got above 20, and now it's doing like 500 feet a minute. Oh no, a 2011 Impreza that needs a new transmission. Yeah, dude. I hate buying cars because, like, airplanes give me a lot of joy. You know, like every time I walk up to the T6, I'm happy. Whereas whenever I walk into the, get in my car, it's just, it brings me no joy. But it's necessary. All right, so we said 251 or 0.76 in cruise, so we can bump the speed up here. There we go. Virtual flight diaries. Comair was hiring for their flight school back then. When you graduated, you had 200, 250 hours multi-engine, and that was for an Embraer 120 as an FO. It's kind of sketchy how you got the hours too. Yeah, man, that's wild. Just the low time that people were hired with back then. But at the same time, we're going to bump the speed up to 0.78 just because, or 7.9 just because I want to go fast. Yeah, the low time and then the Colgan crash happened. And now take what I say with a grain of salt because I'm still wet behind the ears in the airline industry. But I think the 1,500 hours was kind of a knee-jerk reaction because, there's something to be said for the quality of time, as opposed to just the amount, the quantity. So, 1,500 of the same hour is totally different. So a guy who has 1,500 hours flying pipeline patrol, which is doing the same hour over and over and over again, is different than a guy who's, maybe been instructing for 1,500 hours and has had students trying to kill him for 1,500 hours, right? Is different than, in the military we ran into this because you'd have, big wing, like P3 pilots who, they'd get out of the military with a couple thousand hours compared to a fighter guy that would get out with right around 1,000, right? So, I think there's more to it than the amount of hours that you necessarily have as far as how your hair work and decision making and all that stuff is. Oh, Stephen Hayner, good luck getting the pickup now. My God. At some point in the last 20 years, the pickup truck went from a utility vehicle to a luxury vehicle, and I don't know when it happened, but yeah, it's definitely a challenge if you want to pick up for utility purposes. Dan Frook, I do, yeah. I used to own a Vans RV8, and then I sold the RV8. Now I own a 1943 North American T6 Texan. So, scratching the World War II itch. Yeah, I agree, man. And I don't want to throw junk in the back of a really Gucci pickup because you scratch up your bed and all that, right? All right, seatbelts are coming off. There we go. Then we can set up for the arrival too while we're here. Gus is going to give me flack because I'm sitting too low in the airplane. There we go. Line up the Sight balls. See, but if I line up the sight gauge right here, then I can't see the top of the MOD where all my cautions are displayed, so kind of have to sit a little lower. Ooh, half bank. That's a 220ism, where the jet automatically goes into half bank above 30,000, I think. Except we have a little button on the up front, or not the up front, the MCP. John Seaver, yeah, I did enjoy the RV-8, man. It's a great flying airplane. I'm gonna pull the engines back a little bit so we don't blow them up. There you go, manual throttles. The RV is a great airplane, man. So when I first went to buy an airplane, I was looking for something similar to what I was used to in the military, which is to say an airplane that could go cross country and do aerobatics, you know, kind of a do-all airplane that was fairly fast.
Turkish Niner,
you know, that kind of thing. And it's very hard to find that in the civilian world, right, without paying an exorbitant amount of money. Because you've got T-34s, which are $300,000 airplanes, Marchetti 260s, which are $300,000 airplanes, aerobatic Bonanzas, which are about the same, and I just couldn't afford that. And so I started looking at the experimentals, and the RV-8 is a 170 knot airplane. It'll carry 2 real-sized people, 2 200-pound humans, 250 if you don't carry any bags, and bags, and it'll do it for 4 hours, doing 170 knots. So it was a very practical cross-country airplane, and it was fun to fly too. It was tailwheel, it was light on the controls, it was aerobatic. It was a good airplane. The only reason I sold it was to get into the warbird thing, because I have a nostalgia bug about the warbirds, and I wanted to get more experience flying warbirds. So, Nabil, yeah, I have flown other warbirds. I've flown the Stearman biplane, the T6, the T-28 Trojan, specifically the B model. The Super Cub, which was flown by the military, but the one that I flew was not. And then a J3 Cub, which was a warbird in the L4 form. So, yeah, warbirds are cool, man. Just trying to get the experience of flying them before they go away and you can't support them anymore. Joe planes are at the end of the Congo line. That sight gauge is as useless in the sim as real life. And we have half bank as well in the SCP. Okay, so that must be like an option. Oh no, it's right there. Oh yeah, look at that. It is half bank, and it automatically engages. Nice. Yeah, these sight. I don't even think we have them in the 7.3. I can't remember if the 220 had them. I think it did. And then in the F-18, the heads-up display had a cross that you lined up in the side of the HUD. Never worked for me though, because I was too tall, so I had the seat all the way down and still couldn't line them up.
Central aircraft Box, I'm actually flipping up in 20 minutes. We'll send you more for 2 minutes right now.
Dan Fruck, your relative's sick and they need to go in your plane. Well, sorry to hear about your relative, man. T6 is not really a great traveling airplane. It burns a lot of gas to go 130 knots. John Seaver, you fly a similar airplane. It's called a Bristol NG5. Oh yeah, that's a side-by-side composite airplane, I think, right? Much slower than the RV-8, and it's light sport, but the local flight school has one to rent. It's a lot of fun. It's got a canopy on it, right? Gus, LA Center's online, 132.2. Did we get handed off already? Did I miss a handoff? I don't know if I... No, we're still in... Okay, I'll dial it in, though. 32.2. No. There we go. 132.2 pre-selected. Oh, good. And we have tower at Fresno. Okay. Well, that'll be good because we'll be able to get vectors in. One of the harder parts about flying into Fresno is the VNAV in there, but that'll be nice. That'll help us out, actually. Do I do DCS at all, or am I not into mill simulation? I used to fly DCS a lot. I don't do it as much anymore, purely because I'd have to switch out my Honeycomb Bravo throttles and my yoke. So I don't do DCS as much anymore. And I don't stream DCS just because I don't want to end up in jail like the War Thunder forums guy because I accidentally say something that I shouldn't have on stream. So that's the only reason I don't do more DCS stuff. I told V1 I'd fight him. V1 versus full flap DCS BFM dogfight competition win. Dude, I told him I would do a BFM competition. I told him I would also do a carrier landing competition if we wanted to take a couple of Hornets out and try some carrier landings.
Yep.
But, you know, the funny thing that's shocking though is how fast or how perishable a lot of those skills are, because I think it was last week I took the Hornet in DCS and I loaded it up and I, was starting it up and I forgot how to set up some of the MFD pages and I had to kind of sit down and think about it, and I realized, it's only been 3 years since I flew a Super Hornet, and I already forgot some of the pages, and it used to be when you were in it, you're doing it every day, you'd sit in that cockpit and close your eyes and I knew the layout of that cockpit better than I knew anything else in my life.
1422, same Mach.
Skywest 1422, we're doing 0.79er.
Okay, reduce Mach 0.77.
Okay, 0.77, Skywest 1422.
Jazz 1422, same contact, open, sign at 122.2.
All right, 32.2, we'll let know the speed, Skywest 1422 is here. Go, pull this power back a little bit. So yeah, it's funny how perishable a skill that is. And I also feel like the niche, the interest isn't there for streaming that kind of stuff. But like BMS just came out with 4.38, and I did a little bit of F-16 stuff in BMS. So I don't know if that's something you guys are interested in, then we can do a stream. But we'll just see. I'll run a poll. We'll see if we'll see what the.
Sure, maybe a little bit better. Get there in like 2 minutes. United 58, you have something?
Start the poll.
Oh,
there we go.
United 58, verify altitude radar contact.
Slow it down. Let me check in here.
Climb maintain for level 1.
LA Center, Skywest 1422. We're at flight level 360, assigned 0.77.
1422 from the garage.
Okay. All right. John Sievert, the NG5 is canopy and 2-seater. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, the thing is so light it can carry 2 full-size people and sips 4 gallons an hour at 105 knots. That's incredible. Ooh, had the canopy coming open in flight. That's a bit scary. Man, that sounds like a fun airplane. The more like high performance airplanes I fly, be it airliners or fighters or whatever, the more I just appreciate those light sport airplanes that you can, pull out of the hangar, pre-flight real quick, and go buzz around for 4 hours, or at 4 gallons an hour. Yeah, so your SimCFI, this is the question I had. So on the direct intercept page, I was descending, and what I found was that the VSI that was here on the MFD did not match the VSI that was given here on the direct intercept page, and I couldn't figure out which one was accurate, or if that was a bug, or if they're telling me different pieces of information.
The 134 center around.
You're in for DCS competition? Okay. All right. Yeah, we should do it for sure. V1 Sim about to push for Phoenix. I tune in and hear you talking smack right away. What? I said, did I? I probably was. I probably was talking smack. Pistols only duel tomorrow. Sounds good, man. Bring the MP5.
Yeah, they're heading offline now.
Dan Fruck, if you're if you're ever in the area, man, give me a shout. Force Raptor, Big Sim is so upset he said that twice. I don't even know what I was saying. I was probably talking smack. That's probably true. But the new BMS does look really good. It's a pretty good F-16 sim. I mean, it'll never be as good looking as DCS, but from a F-16 simulation perspective, it's significantly better. So, like when I was flying the F-16, I would use BMS for currency, just because I wasn't flying the F-16 on a regular basis, right? It was a couple days a month, so BMS made it really easy to stay current. You were calling him a little girl for not dogfighting you in the Hornet. Yeah, that's true. Okay, your sim CFI says, yeah, it's bugged in the sim. The direct intercept page is accurate. Okay, so reference this VSI and not this VSI, right? The VSI on the FMS. And so this is also basically saying when I'm in between Mina and Friant, I would want to be doing 800 feet a minute to make Friant at 5,900 to make Intel at 10. Okay. Wait, Big Sam, are you streaming or are you pushing for like actual Phoenix? Might be actually working. Man, I've spent so much time in the back of these things looking at that wing. So, Fresno actually has a lot of the FMS. Okay, yeah, the FMS is correct, and that's it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this part of the country has a lot of personal significance just because, let's see, so there's Tonopah Test Range, Bishop, Mammoth Lakes, so China Lake, might be zoomed out all the way. Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah, so NID right there, KNID is China Lake Naval Weapons Station. So I was flying Hornets out of there for a little while, and then had my RV at Inyakern, KIYK, and then Lemoore Naval Air Station is right here next to Fresno, which is where I did the majority of my Hornet flying. And then Fallon up here, right here, is where I did all the F-16 flying. So all my military flying was basically right in this area, in addition to the space camp that I went to as a kid at Castle Air Force Base, which was right there. So this piece of California, Nevada area really has a lot of significance for my personal flying career. That was a little bit of foreshadowing when I was a kid that I went to space camp and then didn't know that 15 years later I'd be flying Super Hornets out of the same Central Valley. Thomas Ray, V1 is still nervous and afraid to come back into the MD-11. Did he break the landing gear on a landing? I don't remember. I didn't catch the last MD-11 stream. Christopher, I'm not using a force feedback yoke. I'm using a Thrustmaster Boeing yoke that the wife bought me actually for Christmas. So, and I like it. It's good. I'm waiting for the force feedback tech to kind of settle out a little bit and become a little more mainstream. So, so we'll see kind of which direction we go. I was about to pull the trigger on the Moza, and then Big Sim told me to hold off. So we'll see. But I'm interested in force feedback. I'm watching it, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I really kind of want that floor-mounted wind wing yoke for the Guppy, but you know, until I have a new house where I can build a full 737 sim pit, I don't think that's in the cards. Because he's paying his dues flying on a Sunday once a quarter. Yeah, man. Hey, it's good though, man. I appreciate that because I get to look at Big Sim and see what it might be like one day when I'm grown up and an airline captain with decent seniority. So, you know, everyone's got to have heroes, right? In the CRJ, we target 3,000 feet a minute, idle 290. However, if you go down when 3,000 is required, you'll never slow down. So we go down at 3,000 in idle once the FMS says 2,700. Got it. Okay. Yeah, so you basically pad your numbers a little bit. Okay. V1 flying on a Sunday so you can drop every Sunday trip during football season. That's awesome. My dream was the Hornets, but then I learned my country's Air Force in the hangar 24/6. Dude, if you're Canadian, I know a couple of Canadian Hornet pilots. Actually, I've become pretty good friends with them. And yeah, the Legacy Hornet specifically, they're getting old. So it's kind of hard to get the, get the flight time. Pulled the trigger, felt nice at Expo. Love the wind wing, but it isn't for my sub. Yeah, interesting, dude. Yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about the Moza. Oh. Alright, that was for us. SkyWest 1422, send it.
Same for you. Direct Sango, direct to sea.
Alright, direct Sango, then direct to field for SkyWest 1422. Alright, so Sango. So now in the 7.3, I would go legs, I'd pull Sango up, and then go direct. I think in this airplane, I can go direct intercept and just hit Sango. Execute. There we go. All right, FMS 1 to Sango. Descent saying 1500.
That was 3518, go ahead.
3518.
There it is, direct intercept page, look at that. Let's see, I was told I was too big for it, but not sure if they just made that up at 6'4". Ooh, yeah, 6. Depending on where your height is, yeah, 6'4" could be, that could be too tall, because I'm 6'2", and like I said, I couldn't look, we called it the Hornet hunch, because with the seat all the way down, I couldn't sit up straight and look out the heads-up display, so I had to hunch over to see out the heads-up display, which is why my back is all messed up now, but yeah, 6'4". I had a skipper who was 6'4", but most of his height was in his legs, so he got away with it. So depending on where your height is, yeah, 6'4" could be a little tight.
646.5 discretion, maintain follow for C20. Discretion, maintain 220 for the 104, please.
Thomas Ray, 6'2". Jesus, thank God you didn't fly the F-16. Who's going to tell him, chat?
One left, XTV Alpha, Golf Bravo, pass by in the Delta 737. They're passing off your left wing right now.
Yeah, you're 6'5". Dude, that makes sense, man. And there's a whole slew of reasons that the civil route, just there's a lot more stability, right? I mean, I'm not going to say that flying fighters wasn't fun, but there's a lot more stability in the civilian life, and a guy like myself who came from fighters, like I'm definitely playing catch up, which is why I love watching streams from like yourself, V1, Flight Deck to Sim, because I sort of use our hobby to try and catch up on the airline decision making and head work and stuff like that you know, you guys are way ahead of me on, because I didn't grow up flying these kinds of airplanes. Yeah, and the odds are small. Yeah, for sure. Thomas Ray, the joke is, so I did fly the F-16 as well as the Hornet. I flew the F-16 for about 2 years. And you're right, it's a very small cockpit. If the seat in the Viper was not absolutely bottomed out, then I would absolutely have my head on the canopy, getting in it. Yeah, your CFI. I do think I'm going to go to Expo next year up in Mini. That's an easy non-rev trip, and honestly, we're starting to build enough of a community here on full flap sim that I think it'd be cool to go out and meet y'all, kind of put a face to a name. I am certified to fly into Haiti though, dude. I flew into DR, into Punta Cana, and that was the joke. We were laughing is we ended up on a 40-mile, I kid you not, a 40-mile downwind out to the west, and we were actually opening up the chart trying to go, all right, well, where's Haiti, because I don't want to get shot at today. Did he give us a descent, AJ? My top of descent's way out in front of us still, and SimCFI is telling me 2,700 feet a minute is what they shoot for, so we're going to descend here in a second. The Beal, I've been flying commercial for just over 3 years.
Actually, 4,000 feet low. Verify maintain 12
That's a 3518?
Affirm, 35.
Oh, okay.
All right, we can set up for it though. We'll get the signs on.
I'll go back to 340.
Let's see. We built it in the FMS.
1422, 5 discretion, maintain flight level 220.
220, positive discretion, Skywest 1422. All right, so dial in 22.
What's the decent mark you can maintain?
Slightly.
Alright, let's do 7-8 or better.
Alright, so we built it in the FMS. The jet builds it in the nav radios because it auto tunes. Bug it, we'll set our landing data. Alright, we'll plan on flat full. So we'll set that. Check out the charts. We have no auto brakes, so go Fresno. Approach. ILS Yankee to 29 right. That's our Huckleberry. 533 DA, so we'll set that right here.
The 104,
We'll pull the direct intercept page up here. So
reroute into Fresno. For now, flight is 270, and then
533.
Right, 270, that's 14.
Gotta turn it on too.
Got 3768, flighting 270, standby for reroute.
Oh, chat, down we go. Here we go, speed mode. Here's 2800. Or no, 2300. Oh shoot, I confused it with the 2800. Oh, we're going down early. That's fine.
Just 3518, maintain Mach 1 7 or better.
Just floated everybody in the back too.
7-8 or better for 3518.
Down we go.
For the 104, maintain Mach 177.
Get the minimum set here.
Good, 3768, maintain Mach
Thomas Ray, I can imagine. I got checked out and used fly aerobatic gliders. Oh, cool. And the Air Force let Super Planets. I like that. You got to be strapped in tight to your headlight. Yeah, dude. I flew the. Well, I actually didn't get to fly them. I was on the soaring team at the Naval Academy, and we had just gotten some of the U.S. Air Force Super Planets. And so I remember the first one that we got, and we put it together, but I left before we got to check it out. All right, there's 290, which is what we were told to use. We're going down to 220. We got the seatbelt signs are on. All right. Your SimCFI, I would not trust the auto tune. Oh, really? Okay, so you dial it in manually then? It's 111.3.
104 route's going to be present position, direct Tango, then direct on the approach to 29.
Direct Tango.
Okay, 111.3 both sides. So we would absolutely trust the altitude in the 220. Interesting that you don't on the CRJ, so they must have improved it for sure. Down we go. There's Mono Lake. It's a kind of saltwater lake in the middle of the Nevada desert. This is let's see, Bishop is down here. There's a low-level route. If we do some military flying, there's a low-level route that goes through the Sierras, down into the Owens Valley, up to Bishop, over these mountains. It's called the Sidewinder. That might be our first military stream if we end up doing one. And then the squadron I was with, we had a timeshare up here in Mammoth. But here was Mammoth Lakes Airport. And then I actually got married here at Convict Lake, which is right there up in the mountains.
So 1422, class compression maintain 11,000.
That's 2,000 feet a minute, which we're doing, that's fine. Stephen Hayner, married at Convict Lake, foreshadowing. Thomas Ray, your reaction on rudder input to form a straight ahead stall need to be very fast, otherwise instant turning stall. Yeah, dude, gliders are tough with regards to rudder coordination and the like. 100%. Okay, so again, I'm not sure about the CRJ, but the 7.3, this 30-mile ring, you want to be about 250 knots at 10,000 feet when you cross that ring, and that'll set you up with a good energy state for the arrival. So in this case, we've got 11,000 dialed in. The banana is showing us right around 11,000 crossing that arc. So I'm going to throttle down to kind of keep that arc just a little bit inside of that, but our descent's looking pretty good. SimCFI, do you guys descend in speed mode or in vertical speed mode? Like, how do you guys work that? Also, what's your dirty up schedule for extended flaps too? I have so many questions, man. I'll just instead of making me type that out, I could just go watch all your videos. I need to go do that because I'm really enjoying flying this jet. There's this Convict Lake right there. Right there. 128.7. Sky was 14.2. Alright, 128.7. For Skywest 1422, descending through 220 for 11.
Just 1422, Oakland Center, roger. Approaching the present altimeter. 29er, 9er, 9er. Approach 29er, 9er, 0.
90, Skywest 1422. Everyone's different, but 99% of people send it vertical speed because you want to make the restriction work the speed yourself, whereas speed mode, you get kind of, okay. I gotcha. 3,000 foot profile, 12,000. Okay, all right. So if we want to be in vertical speed, we'll do that. We'll just set. So this wants 1900 to make Sango, so we can actually descend a little bit sooner. So we'll descend it. I'm doing the altitude now. We can descend down a little bit earlier. We'll do 2.5 because we're moving, and then that'll give us some time to decelerate to 250. Okay, dirty up schedule says base turn below 230, flap 1 can be deployed, 180, 2 below 220 gear and flaps can technically wait for gear. Dotted book glide slope. Okay. Okay, so we'll go flaps 8 at 2. We'll go flap 1 below 230. Flaps 8 at 180. Okay. All right. We'll give her a shot. Please accept my sincere apologies for what I'm about to do to your ride here. The mini descent games that every CRJ plays is how close we can get to the restriction and keep idle thrust the whole descent. Dude, that's challenging. I bet that's fun when you get good at it, but it just seems anxiety-inducing to me right now. Just because this airplane is high workload. I know, just like anything, high workload, right? When you do it for a living, you probably don't realize it's high workload anymore. But this is challenging flying, for sure. All right, lights are coming on. Seatbelts are on. We'll bing the flight attendants going through 18 here. There we go. So this is interesting because I'm at idle right now. I think. Am I idle? Yeah. Back at idle, and it's doing 2,500 feet a minute at 290 knots. So a little bit slicker than you're saying the actual airplane is, but. Oh yeah, this is going over the high Sierras. This is turbulence central here. I got flipped over in a Super Hornet actually, that I'll tell you about on the podcast. That'll be one I are eventually going to do. But yeah, I didn't respect the high Sierras, and I got flipped actually upside down in a Super Hornet, and almost. Well, we didn't almost auger in, but we definitely had to do an emergency recovery. Stephen Hayner, I can't justify his Calarchy set because I need a new car. Gus, yeah, because you were inverted, yeah. All right, we got 2990. Jet's giving us 3002. We'll just go with that for now. And yeah, we're going to get the absolute crap kicked out of us here. I'm going to slow us down early from dip back to 250. So we'll vertical speed us. 1,200 feet per minute, the man says. There we go. Thomas Ray, is that 137,000? Is that what the home cockpits cost? Jeez. Who's got that laying around?
Delta 104 to maintain 16,000. The Fresno altimeter.
Speed's coming back here.
2990.
This is cool, man. I've flown into this, like been a passenger on this flight so many times. This is cool to actually get to do it in an airplane that works. Leave your thrust idle slows to 250 perfectly. Okay, cool. Yeah, I started a little early just to slow down for the bumps mainly, more than anything.
Center, TBM 250 Tango level 110,000.
I'm going to turn
Number 250 Tango.
ATC volume up a little bit.
Maintain level 230, contact Oakland Center on 1.
All right, chat. We're going to get the recording software going here. Let's check the checklist. Descent check.
Time is 230.
Landing elevation, that was set. Terrain radar is up. Fuel set. CAS, we checked.
Oakland Center, Delta 104 is reducing to 280 due to turbulence.
Yep, CAS is checked.
Dallas 1422, connect Fresno approach 110.6 today.
250 below 10. Passenger signs are on, landing lights are on. Okay, approach check. Landing date is
Dallas
verified.
1422, contact Fresno approach 119.6 today.
119.6 today.
Alright, we'll arm the reversers. I assume that's probably done when you drop the gear, but I'm going to get busy, so.
Delta 104, descend to maintain 10,000.
Alright, we'll go to speed mode now at 250.
For the 104, correction, descend to maintain 1,000.
1,000 to go.
1,000, Delta 104.
Rule of thumb, sometimes doesn't work. where we're 260 and 10's close enough. Yeah, 100%, man. This is good enough for government work. Plane likes a smooth reduction of idle starting from 30 feet. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the Airbus slam. Like in the 7.3, I'd really smoothly close them out. I fly so many light piston airplanes that I don't want to get in the habit of just slamming throttles to idle. This guy's going to keep us higher than shit. Family channel. That needs to be the channel's first emoji. Family channel for every time I screw that up. All right. This guy's going to keep us super high up here. So, it's not really descending. Skywest 1422 looking for lower.
Skywest 1422, contact Fresno approach 119.6.
19.6, see ya. Alright, 19.6. Need a radio panel. Fresno approach, Skywest 1422, descending 11,000 for Fresno information.
Skywest 1422, Fresno approach, turn right 20 degrees, descend to maintain 6,000.
Alright, 20 degrees and 6,000, Skywest 1422. Alright, 20 degrees, 6,000. Down we go. Alright, 6,000 set, right turn 20 degrees. 6,000, we're going to need the boards to get out here. We're going to be high. Alright, there we go. And he's probably going to bring us into story, so we can go direct to story.
Skywest 646, descend to maintain 3,400.
Maintain 3,400,
intercept course, execute. There we go. Alright, there's 10,000 feet. Lights are all on. I'm not going to have time to switch that. Oh, Steve, he told me to switch 5 minutes ago? Oh boy, yeah, we're gonna be tall, boys. That's right. Alright, down to 6, we're gonna be okay. We'll be alright. We'll leave these out though, I want to get down early. And let's look out and see. Those are going to be out there somewhere. Alright, so you can see, so this is the same as the 220. It tunes
Skywest
it
646, arranging 270
and puts it in your backup, but you can see here that it's already tuned 292 and it's got the ghost glide slope, so that's very, very similar to the 220.
Skywest 646, heading 270.
Alright, sorry, 270 for 646, trying to localize 29 right.
Skywest 1422, descend to maintain 4,000.
4,000, Skywest 1422. Alright, there's 4,000.
Skywest 646, here's 2 miles from Tango, maintain 3,400 till established, cleared ILS 29 right approach.
Back out.
Maintain to the garage till established, clear for the ILS 29 right approach,
8 from stories, we're going to start slowing down. Do you need speed from Skywest 1422?
Skywest 1422, reduce speed 2109.
Speed 210, 1422. Alright, so we can get flaps 8 out, and that'll help our cause descending.
Skywest 1422, turn left heading 110.
110, Skywest 1422. Oh, 110, okay, so he's going to put us on the downwind here, so we actually
There's an approach, Delta 104, passing 11,300, descending to 11,000.
Delta 104, Fresno approach, altimeter 299, service, descend maintain 9,000, expect vectors for the ILS 29 right.
Be fine, so we'll leave the
9,000 expecting vectors for the ILS 29 right.
Leave the slats in.
Skywest 1422, descend maintain 3,400.
3,400, Skywest 1422. All right, down to 3.4. Recorder is coming on. Okay, recorder is playing, so we don't have any excuses. Hopefully, it doesn't send us to.
Skywest 646, Tower 182 with you.
Say that again for 646.
Skywest 646, contact tower 118.2.
All right, 18266. Yeah.
Screw it. All this DCS talk going live in the Hornet, dude. Awesome. Dude, thanks for all the help, man, with the CRJ, man. I'm gonna run over your channel, subscribe, and let's see if we can get together and do some more CRJ stuff, dude. This is awesome. All right, here come the slats. I thought we were going to be super high because I thought he was going to just bring us straight into story, but the downwind actually worked out pretty good. Oh, you've got a beta shared cockpit mode? Ooh.
Skywest 1422, turn right heading 250.
That would be awesome, man. Say again the heading for Skywest 1422.
Skywest 1422, turn right heading 250.
250, Skywest 1422.
Delta 104 to center, maintain 5,000.
5,000,
Delta
104.
Bump the power up. 250, it's a big turn. There we go, 250. 1,000 feet per minute.
Delta 104, turn 20 degrees left.
Say again.
Delta 104, turn 20 degrees left.
Left 20 degrees.
Skywest 1422, 3 miles from Tango. Maintain 3,400 till established, cleared ILS 29 right approach.
All right, 3,400 till established, cleared ILS 29 right, Skywest 1422. All right, there's alt cap at 34.
Skywest 1422, I'm sorry, you can fly heading 270 till established.
All right, heading 270 till established, Skywest 1422. All right, there we go, there's 270. And I see why you say vertical speed mode, because it's not wanting to keep going here. All right, we'll set speed to 180, and then we'll put the flaps 8 out. All right. Select approach mode. Loke's coming active. Loke 1.
Skywest 1422, tower 118.2.
18.2 for tower, Skywest 1422, so yeah. 18.2. Power back.
Delta 104, reduce speed 210 knots, then descend and maintain 3,400.
Go back over here.
200 to 3,400.
I don't know why.
Delta 104, speed 210.
Like localizer intercept.
210, Delta 104, sorry.
Skywest 646, full position.
Autopilot approach mode.
Only position.
Nope, didn't like that either. Alright, we're going to hand fly it. So it looks
There's
like
8 Mike to Mike. Contact
about 20.
Departure on contact departure on 119.6.
There we go. Not sure why I didn't
119.6 departure, thanks for help. Mike.
Skywest 646, cross runway 29 left, contact ground on 121.7.
Alright, cross 29 left, 21.7, Skywest 646.
Slow, there's the glide slope. Pick it up. $180, 130 up at 2,000 feet. That should be a good spot to do it. Oh, in real life, In real life, the CRJ has massive load capture issues. The wind screws it up. Dude, that's funny. So A220 is the same way. So we always capture in nav. You sequence up an LNAV path, capture in nav, and then once you're on the course, then you switch it up to loc. You don't capture in loc because the wind messes it up. And Tower Skywest 1422 is 8 out, 29 right. Over.
Skywest 1422, Fresno Tower, winds variable at 5 from a 29 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 29 right, Skywest 1422. All right, clear to land, lights are on. Reversers are armed, speed brakes. That's about 200 feet, there's gear down. And what's our VREF? It's, I think it's 140. Let's see, 137, so we'll set 145. No, 37, 142. Oh boy. There we go, there's the glide slope. Here comes flap 30. A lot of drag coming in. Okay, and I think 170 is the flap 45 speed. Just keep working it down. Turk, get out of here. Regional jet issues. Alright, we got gear 3 down lock flaps are coming to 45. 45 reversers are armed. Clear to land. High workload airplane, man. The fact that this is someone's first jet is mind-boggling. Although, it makes for good training for later in your career, but what a leap from like a Cessna 182 to this. Alright, get it trimmed. Pitch and power. It hand flies really nice. It's heavy on the controls. Unlike most flight sim add-ons, it's not twitchy at all.
500 minimums.
But you do end up moving the yoke quite a bit. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but
Minimums.
alright, minimums landing.
Minimums. 300 minimums.
There we go. A
Minimums.
little low on the glide slope. Okay.
200 minimums.
A little fast, correcting.
Minimums. 100.
Didn't we pass minimums like 6 times? Oh, can we land over the gear in the CRJ?
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on, baby. Oh, float it a little bit. There we go. Speed brakes up. I think we smashed, chat. I think we smashed. 80 knots, cancel reverse. Manual brakes. I guess they're all manual
West
brakes.
1422, welcome to Fresno. Turn left next taxiway, cross runway 29, correction, cross runway 29 left, and contact ground at 121.7.
Alright, left turn, cross the left, 0.7 for ground, Skywest 1422. Alright, start the clock for engine cool down. Alright, 21.7 the man said.
Sorry, who was calling? Alaska 1233. Roger, hello, welcome back.
Alright, there we go. Ground, Skywest 1422, clearing the left, taxi to one of the gates.
Skywest 1422, you can make a left there on Bravo. Join Bravo 6 into the ramp.
Bravo 6 into the ramp, Skywest 1422. Alright. Alrighty, chat, we're here in Fresno. Bravo 6 is a triple at the gate. Oh, Pete Ski with the $20 super chat. Thanks for the stream, Captain Pete. You are welcome, man. This one was more fun than I anticipated it being, man. I actually had a blast in this airplane. Looking forward to learning how to fly it more. Turk in the U.S. with a $5 super chat, man. Kablamo! I hope you'll cook your steaks
November
medium rare tonight.
155 Delta Juliet, I have
Dude,
a full amended route
thanks for
plans
joining,
you.
Turk.
Dispatch
Hey,
ready,
look at
copy.
this. Look at this Payware Fresno
No
scenery, man.
problem at all.
Just for you,
Division
dude.
155
Never saying
Delta
I'll do
Red,
anything
copy.
for you. All right, we'll get
November
the APU
155
going.
Delta Juliet, cleared to the Santa Barbara Airport, Bulldog 3 departure.
APU
Radar
door
vectors
open.
Gaviota VOR.
Fire that up.
Have it.
Get the
That's
lights, strobes
Hotel
off, wing
Alpha
lights
Bravo
off.
Uniform
There
Tango
we go.
direct. On departure, climb and maintain 1010,000. Departure is 132.35 and squawk 3610.
I know, I can't believe it.
Sedition 155 Delta, clear
Bravo
Santa
6.
Barbara via the Bulldog 3 departure, Gaviota, I believe.
Yeah,
Hotel Alpha Bravo Uniform Tango.
We'll park here next to Alaska and then we'll disconnect. I think
that's
that vodka? Or is that Gus? No, Gus was behind us, so that's got to be vodka.
November 155 Delta Juliet, readback is correct. You are there, so you can start at your own discretion. Call me back to taxi.
Roger that, further discretion, no call
I think that's Gus. Alright. Force Raptor, make sure you check out the nightlife here. Fresno is very nice. I don't know, man. I lived in Fresno for 8 years, man. I think we were living in different parts of the town. I want to get over and look at everyone else's landing here.
November
Right,
155 Delta Juliet, I have a new departure frequency for you. It's going to be 119.6.
Oh no!
119.6 for departure frequency. Appreciate that,
I
Padre.
missed it. There's Gus rolling the wheelie in the 319. Alright. Is there anybody else coming in? Let's see. I think we got one more on final here. Yeah, we got one more SkyWest on final. Didn't deal. Alright, let's see. We'll try and catch some deal here. There we go. Gotta reset my drone cam. We got one more. What do you think? Touchdown zone or just beyond it? Because we touched down, I think we touched down right just beyond the cables, right? So we'll see how this is.
Further around, Fresno ground, Delta 104, located on Bravo 10.
It's a
sorry, that was
78.
two
Nice.
aircraft. Delta 104, I heard you first, I believe. Say again?
Alright.
Delta 104, vacated runway on 2 on the Bravo 10.
Nabil, is this you in SkyWest
Delta
3768?
104, Fresno ground. Make a left around Bravo 6 into the ramp.
Who is this? Or no, is this Joe Plains? Who's
Bravo
bringing
6
up the rear
ramp.
here?
Delta 104.
Who else was calling?
Yeah, Joe Plains. I think it's Joe Plains coming in.
Alaska 1233 requesting
There we
high for
go.
clearance to Los Angeles and 5.
Does he look high, chat? So,
Alaska
Simplify, can you
1223, you're
land
cleared
over?
to the Los Angeles International Airport.
Over the
Bulldog
raised
3
cables?
departure. Radar vectors Intel that has filed.
It's Barry Seal.
On departure,
it's
climb and
Joe Plains.
maintain
pretty sure it's
10,000. Expect flight level 290, 10 minutes after. Departures on 119.6.
The
squawk
F-16, you can't land over that.
0647.
I mean, you can, but you're not supposed to. So.
Alright, clear to Los Angeles has filed.
Let's see, what's Joe, is that an ERJ? Alaska ERJ, I think?
Climb maintain 10,000.
ERJ is a butter machine, so we'll see.
Climb level 290,
Oh no way, Jay, you physically lost power at your place.
Squawk
Oh no, dude.
Alaska 1223, readback is correct. You can expect runway 29 right for departure.
Gus, I did not. I saw you wheeling down the runway. Did you almost kablamo? So pro tip, you know it's 2020 because there's landing gear on the AI traffic. Man, look at that. Nice and stable coming down final. Little flare. Ooh. Butter right in the touchdown zone. Joe Plains. Professional. Alrighty. That was very nice. Alright, let's jump in here.
WestJet 2311 Heavy, runway 29 right, taxi.
And we're going to see how we did. So, stop the recording. We're going to play back. Everything's running. So we're going to hit replay. There we go. Okay, gear's coming out. You have to manually put the flaps down. There we go. Well, it's an E-Jet, a 4-year-old can fly those. Landing rate with vertical speed. Ooh, Gus, 134. I think we smashed. We'll see. Here, let me launch G's. Let's see how we do here. It's okay, so it's kind of a Temu wing, but you know, I'll take it. I think some textures could go a long way to making that better. All right, we're gonna fast forward a little bit here. There we go. Zoom. Coming in over the Fresno farmland. It was a little gusty. We're working it. Yeah, could definitely use texture update, but it is fun. Yeah, for sure. So there we go. We're looking good. And then I pulled a little too hard and floated right there, and then float, smash. Not too bad. 193 feet per minute, but still not fantastic. Ooh, listen to the brake sounds. That's pretty good. All right, let's look outside and see how that was. Not the most stable of approaches, but we're on speed. Just kind of flared, broke the descent rate, and then was trying to get the nose up for a nice greaser, and pulled just a little too hard, floated it. Not too bad. Cope if you watch too much Big Sim. Well, let's see how we do here. All right, nice round out. Smoothly close them out, like see if I said. Oh, chat, we were so close to a butter. Yeah, we kind of feathered that off. Yeah. We snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Definitely snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Why is the wing light flashing like a strobe? Is it? Oh, this guy? Yeah, I don't know. Well, is that the wing light? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I don't know why. Look at this. We're looking so good here. We're looking so good. Yeah, it does look like a private. Look at this. We're looking so good. We come in, and right, just a little too much right there, and plonk, and down there. Oh, we flew the nose down nice and smooth, though. All right, okay, well, you know what? 500-hour new regional FO, that's what you get. Alrighty, y'all. 192 feet per minute, which I still think I'll put up against Big Sim's best day, so landing competition win. Alrighty, y'all. Hey, thanks for joining. I had a lot of fun on this stream with the revitalized, brought back from the dead CRJ from Aerosoft. So thanks for coming along. Really, oh my gosh. You wouldn't even feel that inside. Yeah, it'd be great. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. I had a lot of fun on this, so we'll definitely be flying the CRJ a little bit more as time goes on. So appreciate everyone joining in. SimCFI, thanks for keeping me honest, flying your bird, man. That was a lot of fun. For everyone who donated via Super Chat, dude, Turk, Pete Ski, and then up at the top here, Mike P. Thanks for the Super Chats and the support, guys. I really appreciate it. So we will see y'all on the next one. I'm on reserve for the next couple of days, so depending on when my reserve calls are, I may be able to jump on. But the poll looked like 74% of y'all wanted some military type streaming, so maybe we'll bust out the Thrustmaster Warthog and do some BMS or some TCS stuff. So anyway, all right, y'all. Thanks again. The community is what makes this fun, and I really appreciate y'all jumping in, participating in the chat. Help me out. Drop a like if you can, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers. See ya.
destination. Please stay seated until the seatbelt sign is turned off and the aircraft comes to a full stop. We sincerely thank you for flying with us and hope that you will join us again soon. Please take a moment to check the seat compartments for any personal items.